Shane, we won the coin toss, and we're going to start with a question, a trade question for our Campus of Canton friends here. 12-team Superflex PPR, 1.75 tight end premium, start 10. Are you going Rashee Rice and a projected late 24 first, or DK Metcalf? Let's start with you, Felix.
I'm going with DK. I mean, I think a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. I know this is a strong wide receiver class in 2024. Is somebody at the end of the first round? Are you going to find Jordan Addison or Zay Flowers? I don't really know. We know after this season, Tyler Lockett is a free agent, right? After this season, so it's going to be him and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Give me DK. I'll take that athleticism for the next 3 years.
Where you at on this one, Maddie?
Yeah, as much as I hate to agree with Felix, I do agree with him. I know DK's having a bad year so far, but he's been good throughout most of his career. And I agree with Felix. While it is a strong wide receiver class, I actually think most of those wide receivers will go early in your rookie drafts because it's the strongest part of this class. I mean, you might end up getting like a running back there, which I don't necessarily love. Don't love what I've seen out of Rashee Rice as well. I think if the Seattle Seahawks improve that quarterback position, DK is going to go right back to being a top 15 asset. I'm keeping DK.
I actually sold him away today, but where are you at on this one, Shane? Our usual stock format, Rashee Rice in the late first, or DK?
Look, DK is as sexy as a man as there is, right? That dude without a shirt is pretty smoke show, but he's just a meh wide receiver. He's a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. I don't know that Rashee Rice will ever be anything more than a wide receiver 4, but I know that pick's liquid. I know if Rashee Rice ever somehow hits, I don't know, like 70% route participation, he might have a big game, and I could sell him off that. So give me the pick and Rice, and y'all can have the sexy man in DK. Look, I was there coming out of college when he was running around without a shirt on. I was all for it, hard, loving it. You know what I mean? But bro just hasn't come through.
You know what's funny? I think we made this exact trade, Shane, in one of the trades in 5 listener leagues. I traded you DK Metcalf, and I got Rashee Rice in a late first or whatever. Yeah, I think it was. I think it happened. I'll check it out. But guys, give us your state of the union on the 2024 draft class, and obviously we'll weave in Dynasty and the value of draft picks as we go along. But Felix, let's start with you. Where's your head at? Loving this class?
If I'm giving the State of the Union, is one half of this room going to stand up and clap for me as I give this speech? No, I think that the class is weak at the running back position. The top guys: Braylon Allen, Travion Henderson, Raheem Sanders is probably going to go back to school. Who would be the fourth guy? Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Brooks just tore his ACL, so he's probably going to go back to school. He was a candidate to be the number 1 back in the class, and so it's weak at the running back position. At the wide receiver position, you have just about every type of wide receiver you can want. There's a lot of big guys in this, kind of throwback guys like Keon Coleman, and I think even Marvin Harrison Jr. is a throwback at the position. At quarterback, you got the top 2 names that have been the top 2 since last offseason, and Drake Maye and Caleb Williams. The question is going to be, who is after that? Could it be Jaden Daniels? Could it be Michael Pratt if he comes out of Tulane? Could it be Michael Penix Jr.? Michael Penix Jr.
McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy, yeah. I mean, JJ McCarthy, as long as you want to run the ball 40 times a game, sure, go ahead, take him back at the end of the first round. But so that's we got 2 tight ends who are probably, well, actually, I would say 3 between Dallin Holker, JT Sanders, and Brock Bowers, who are going to be, taken in the second round somewhere in Dynasty rookie draft. So the strength of the class is definitely wide receiver. You're going to get, somebody's going to get Devontae Walker out of North Carolina, who's a transfer from Kent State, who's going to go to the combine and run a 4.3. He's going to be 6'2" and have long arms. He's going to be like the 6th wide receiver taken in this class. So strong at wide receiver. The top 2 quarterbacks really strong. By the way, the number 3 overall pick, Dynasty rookie drafts, great place to be because it's going to be Drake Maye, Caleb Williams, Caleb Williams, Drake Maye, Marvin Harrison Jr. You're going to get one of those three players in Superflex League. So, that's
right. Maddie, what are your thoughts on standing up for the State of the Union?
That was okay, Felix. I don't. That's a little bit of excessive clapping there. If you are in Superflex leagues, I do think that you're going to like this draft. I agree with Felix. I mean, Michael Penix could be up there. There's quarterbacks that are going to make a move. Bo Nix has been interesting. Quinn Ewers is going back. So Caleb, Drake, Maye are going to be those top guys. J.J. McCarthy, we'll see what he does. Jaden Daniels is getting a lot of love right now out of LSU for what he has done. Does Riley Leonard come out? Michael Pratt, a guy that Felix and myself have both been on, might shoot up some boards here out of Tulane, a guy that I think is going to surprise some people. But outside of wide receiver, this class is horrible. You're looking at, though, if you want to look at the positive side, a possible 2014-esque type rookie class with Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Devontae Adams, Brandon Cook, Sammy Watkins. I believe Allen Robinson was even in that class. That was a really good class. You're looking at that kind of class here with Marvin Harrison Jr., Keon Coleman, Malik Nabers, Roma Dunze, Emeka Egbuka. Xavier Worthy can improve his hands. He'll be up there. Troy Franklin's having a really good season. Brian Thomas out of LSU. Johnny Wilson.
Say his name.
Devontae Walker. Jalen McMillan. I don't know who you want me to say.
You know exactly who I'm saying. Say his name.
Jermaine Burton might actually have some very interesting stock here. It is a loaded wide receiver class. That is where you're going to find the value, and that's where the best players are going to come out of this draft. Felix talked about the top 3 picks. If you're looking, I know a lot of people in rookie drafts love to build around that running back position. You better hope you have like a top 7 pick, because the 3 running backs that I think are going to be at the top of that class, and Braylon Allen, Travion Henderson, and whoever else vaults up in there. Is it going to be Jonathan Brooks? It's going to be Trey Benson, Blake Corum, Will Shipley. None of those guys really inspire confidence out of the top 2. Once those 2 are gone, I think you're going to see a ton of wide receivers coming off the board. And I think this year, more than any other year that I can remember, I don't think there's going to be anything close to a consensus in rookie drafts after those top 3 picks.
He didn't say Ladd McConkey's name at the wide receiver position.
He's like a third-round rookie pick.
Don't forget Ladd McConkey.
Got it. We've got it at the 7-minute, 5-second mark, Felix. Consider it a receipt for, you were rumored to be the fantasy receipts person for a while. That's hilarious. You and Jax. We'll get into that later. And how Matt looks 100% like Sean McVay. And it's an easy Halloween costume every single year. You're just Sean McVay. You just walk outside with some candy. Okay, so let me ask you this, Felix. Brock Bowers. Is he the 104 in a 1.75 tight end premium format? Let's make it a 2.0. Let's make it a 2.0 tight end premium. Brock Bowers 104?
2.0 tight end.
103?
Now you got me thinking. I think Brock Bowers is just as safe as a prospect as Kyle Pitts was. Where has that gotten us? He's better than some of the other first round tight ends, whether it be Eric Ebron, Bandit Pettigrew, Jermaine Gresham over the years, who are athletically, I probably put him up there with Vernon Davis.
Oh, I was about to say his name. Love it.
Yeah, similar size, not as physical as like a Jeremy Shockey. I'm trying to think of the first round tight ends. Yeah, he's going to be fine, but that tight end position is so like contingent on the offense around you, right? It always has been. If your offense around you is successful, that tight end can be, a centerpiece. But if it's not, what are we doing here? So if he lands, in the back end of the first round of the NFL draft, and he is with a quarterback who's going to get him the ball, I would consider it. But there is going to be wide receivers in that area around where he's taken, where you're like, would I rather have, I don't know, give me another first round wide receiver, Keon Coleman or Xavier Worthy. If Xavier Worthy goes to the Chiefs, would I rather have him or Brock Bowers on the equivalent of the Falcons? I think I'd rather take the upside with the offense. That specifically for that position, tight end, I kind of want them to be in a really good offense in order to take that risk at 104. I mean, even at a tight end 0.2 premium.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see what happens, because the way Laporta's performed, Kincaid, Musgrave's shown a little bit. Mayer for like a half second, he was like, "Buy now." Now everybody's cool on him again. Funny how that happens, right? Shane, do you think the fact that Laporta, Kincaid, etc. hit that's going to make Brock Bowers and the other cats more attractive? Is it Sanders?
I'd say Brock Bowers we've had a hard on for him
for a couple years.
Yeah, for a couple years. So it's just like Kyle Pitts. So he's steamed up. Like he's gonna be the 104, 105, unless Jaden Daniels makes it up there, which is completely possible if he ends up going in the top 10 of the draft, which shit happens with quarterbacks, man. They move up quickly. I was listening to Athletic today, and they're already talking about him like he's going to be a first-round draft pick. 5 weeks ago, I don't even remember his name being discussed in the top 6 quarterbacks, but it is what it is. Some quarterbacks going to get up there. It was Shedeur Sanders at one point. Now it's Jaden Daniels, which is fine. I mean, he's been awesome. But either way, Brock Bowers is going to be top 5 pick. I mean, I would take Nabers over him. You know what I mean? I'd probably take Keon Coleman, but I was burned by Kyle Pitts, and once you get burnt by a chick, you don't like going back to that same one because it's going to burn. It's going to burn. You don't want to get burned again when you pee. It hurts. Only takes one time.
1049 screenshot for the TikTok. Thank you, Shane. Moving on. Let's go to this starred super chat here. Thank you very much, Anthony, as we cover up Felix and Shane's face. I don't know why it's not doing the bump up thing. I'll get it out of your way in a second, boys. Anthony, thank you for the super chat. 12-team Superflex, start 11, half PPR, startup year. I'm in second, but 5th in points. Quarterbacks are T-Law, Dak, Baker. Running backs, Josh Jacobs, James Cook, Gibson, and Cans. Wide receiver, CD, Garrett Wilson, Puka, DK, Godwin, and Flowers. At tight end, we're looking at Freiermuth and some more trash cans. No 24 first or second. Have all 25 and 26 picks. What moves to make? Let me figure out how to move this thing around. Who wants to start here? Shay, do you want to start?
No, let someone else start.
Okay. Maddie, go ahead, man.
What moves to make? So 12-team Superflex. I think you need to improve that running back room if you can. But the problem is you have no 24 first or second. I don't know many people be willing to take a 25 first. I would probably be willing to do that. I don't think the 25 class is going to be much better than what we're looking at in the 24. So if you can move that 25 first for a running back, possibly a higher end one, a top 12 guy, that would be the move that I'd be trying to make right now.
Got it.
Bring
what do you think here? Yep.
Let's see. Start 11, Baker, Dak, T-Law. I don't like your QB2 in T-Law or Baker. Well, Baker's fine. I'd probably be trying to move T-Law for a tier down and another wide receiver, to be quite honest with you. I actually like those running backs. Jacobs, Cook until, next week when Leonard Fournette is now the starting running back for the Buffalo Bills because Cook thinks it's basketball and keeps bouncing that, John. But I probably would try to add a couple cans at the running back position. I would try to add a couple people. The dudes that we've talked about all year that we like that are fairly cheap. Devin Singletary, Kyron Williams, Jalen Warren, who's now their starting running back for Pittsburgh, apparently.
If Nick Chubb was healthy, he would be perfect to trade for.
I'm looking to move Freiermuth as soon as he comes back, if he ever comes back and has one good game and someone believes in him again. I'll sell high on DK if I can, or at least the name brand of him. That's about it. Yeah, that's all.
Selling for Rashee Rice in a late first. Okay, thank you very much for that super chat, Anthony. Let me move this off the screen. I was playing around with the bubbles; they were annoying me. We've got ATM in the building. What's up, Adam? He says Felix.
Doesn't say hi to me, but he says hi to.
And Felix. What is this? Bruning?
That's my last name.
That's his last name.
And Adam,
what's up, Adam?
I am disappointed that you did Felix first. Just gonna throw that out there.
Everybody does Felix first.
I threw the boy a touchdown. I threw Adam I threw Mike a touchdown. So never mind. Anyway,
that's exactly why you should know that to go to me first, Adam, because he mixed you two up.
This one is great because I was going to try to find the clip of where I said it, but I was doing a Dynasty Different show and I asked the guest, what are your thoughts on CJ Stroud? Because my gut feeling is that he's going to suck. And clearly he does not suck. So I will find that. But in the meantime, talk about CJ Stroud. We were talking about him yesterday. Would you give T-Law and a mid 24 first for CJ Stroud? And we're using that format that we did previously. 1.75 tight end premium, 12-team Superflex.
Man, that's a lot to give up, I think. I mean, I know Stroud has been amazing, and I wasn't his biggest fan either coming out, even though I am an Ohio State fan. Trevor Lawrence has been not good, I think is a fair way to put it.
Yep.
Oh, man, a mid-first, though. I mean, you're talking one of those running backs. I wouldn't go Brock Bowers, but Brock Bowers is in that range. But you have all those wide receivers.
Getting a good-looking wide receiver.
If you could get like I know this wasn't the question, but I'm going to start. If you could get like a third-round pick back, I would do it because I think this wide receiver class is so deep. But if you just had to go the first and Lawrence for Stroud, man, he's a top 10 quarterback this year. With that bad offensive line, no weapons, I mean, I would think that this is the floor we might be seeing with him. And he hasn't really given you as much rushing as we saw him do at times at Ohio State.
He did it in one game. He did it against Georgia in the playoffs. That's the only time he ran the ball. And against Michigan State, that first play.
Yeah,
now, Michigan State, his very first play.
So at times, so you came and corrected me and then just validated me. So thank you. You know how much validating my feelings matters.
Two times.
I said at times.
The first time he ever touched the ball, and then the last time he ever played. It was the beginning and the end.
No, he did it also in that really windy Michigan State game as well. They ran the ball with Travion Henderson a lot, but then he ran as well. But anyways, that we're not here to argue between each other. I would probably do it at the end of the day. If you can't even get anything back, I would still probably do Trevor Lawrence in a mid-first for CJ.
Which side, Felix? Package or CJ Stroud?
So this is how I feel about CJ Stroud. If you have a 4 or 5 year old child, I think that they will be graduating from college before CJ Stroud is no longer an elite player. If you look at his style of game, it's not something that's really built on athleticism. He's winning, turning his shoulders to move defenders, throwing behind them. It's not like he does have a great arm, but he is winning in a way that like Drew Brees wins. So I think that he's going to play the game for a very, very long time. Give me CJ Stroud. I'm serious. Watch. You're going to be, I don't know what year that is. Your 4 or 5 year old child is going to graduate high school before CJ Stroud takes a decline. He's going to play that long.
Nice. Let's put up this one from Kevin here.
How come I don't get to answer questions tonight?
Well, we talked about it last night.
Fine. I won't answer that.
You literally answered it last night. Otherwise, I would have.
No, it's fine. You don't know.
Okay. Actually, I should ask you again to see where you are tonight versus last night.
CJ Stroud, easy. Trevor Lawrence is a back end QB1 at best. But unless I'm trying to trade him to Felix, a lot of potential still there, Felix. He's a back end QB1. CJ Stroud is actually special. Mid-first. Look, I hate giving up extra capital if I'm staying in a tier, but I think it's pretty clear that CJ Stroud's a step above Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, depends at the power of the picks in your league too. But let's pull up Kevin's here. Thank you very much for the super chat. 12-team Superflex, PPR start 11. Just traded Bijan, Hopkins, and OBJ for AJ Brown and Dobbs. Had Watson as my QB2. Still have HN, Javonte Williams, ETN at running back. Good trade for me. Let's start with you, Matty.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, you needed the quarterback. I think you got arguably the best player in the deal in AJ Brown. I love Bijan. Hopkins and OBJ, kind of nothing for me at this point. You'll maybe have Hopkins for another year producing the way he has this year, but you're good at running back. I'm good with the trade. I ain't giving up Bijan. I do think at some point, once Arthur Smith is gone, he's going to be special for Atlanta. But you got, in my opinion, the best player in the deal in AJ Brown, and Dobbs will be a good quarterback for you since Watson's out.
Where are you at on this one, Shane? We'll go to you second, just so I don't forget you.
Well, I mean, so it's
AJB.
It's start 11. So what's that guy's name? Hopkins and even Odell Beckham Jr. matter a little bit more in that, but. You know me, I've been trying to pivot off Bijan. If I can get AJ Brown for him and I'll get Dobbs back, that's a dude I can. Dobbs or Dobbs or Romeo? I'm confused. Did he get the receiver or the quarterback back?
The receiver is what my guess, right?
Okay, so he's.
That's a good question.
I assume,
not 100%.
I think it's the quarterback.
I assume the quarterback because he put in Watson is gone. So
yes,
Watson is my QB2 and Watson's out now. That's for the season.
So now I love that trade even more. It's like.
Hopkins and OBJ, I'd rather have Dobbs and then AJ Brown
and
over
then
Bijan.
AJ Brown over Bijan pretty comfortably, to be quite frank. I like Bijan. Yeah. We've talked about this. I have 2 remaining shares of Bijan. He's gone.
He's gone.
I got one, Shane, if you want to come grab it.
No.
See?
I'll give you Trevor Lawrence.
You would give away Trevor Lawrence to Bijan, huh?
Maybe. Yeah, probably. I'll do it. I don't care.
I immediately regret this decision. Okay, let's hit this other super chat, and then I'll get into a different question here. Felix, we're going to start with you. Sean, thank you very much. 8-2, 10-team, 2 QB league, start 10, 1.0 for tight ends. Just traded Garrett Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and a late second for Justin Jefferson and Evan Ingram. My other QBs are Josh Allen, Geno, and Aaron Rodgers. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you're starting Josh Allen and Geno this year, and you got Justin Jefferson coming back from injury, and Evan Ingram and tight end premium is great. So you traded away Garrett Wilson. I love that trade. I love that trade. I don't like that you're playing in a 10-team league, but I love the trade.
Where are you at on this one, Maddie?
Yeah, again, I agree with Felix here. I think Evan Ingram is going to bounce back. He's not having a great year, at least not compared to what we saw last year. I think he's down in like the tight end 20 range, but I think he'll be fine signing that contract with Jackson. I don't know why I was going to say conversation. Deshaun Watson out for the year. Let's be honest. He wasn't good last year, wasn't necessarily playing that good for Cleveland this year. Now he's out again dealing with the shoulder injury in his throwing arm, and you're getting Justin Jefferson. Look, I love Garrett Wilson. Got his jersey right here behind me. Dude's a beast. Justin Jefferson special. He is the wide receiver 1. So again, best player in the deal. You got him. I'm all for that Justin Jefferson side.
You got Felix drumming over there. You got something on your mind?
Am I drumming? No, I think that's my chair creaking.
Got it. I thought you were drumming like, here I come. Shane, where are you at on this one?
Well, so I wasn't paying attention because I sent Felix a pretty fun offer.
You sent me the trade? Okay.
I said it can't be that original. Like, I can't be that unoriginal to send you the exact trade that I just said on air, but it's a variation of it. So, Sean, how you doing, Sean? You're 8-2 in a 10-team league. Good for you. 2-quarterback league. You know these things, but I'm going to read them anyway. Starts 10, 1.0 premium for tight end. You just traded for Garrett Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and a late second for Justin Jefferson. I mean, that looks a hell of a lot better now that Deshaun Watson isn't going to play football again until 2024. Other QBs, Josh, Geno, Aaron Rodgers, thoughts? I'm good with it. 10 teams, start 10. It's right on that cusp of, like, if it was start 11, I'd start thinking a little more heavily about it. But no, I'm fine. If this is what you got to do to get Justin Jefferson, it just sucks because you're kind of selling low. Not kind of. You are selling low on Deshaun Watson, and you are selling at I don't want to say low on Garrett Wilson, but obviously if Aaron Rodgers didn't blow up his knee.
Yep. Okay, thank you for that super chat, Sean. We're going to start with you, Mr. Felix, on this one. We're going to get a baseline on you guys. How many dynasty leagues do you play in?
Zero, I think.
Zero?
I think zero is the answer for me. All of my dynasty leagues are campus to Canton leagues. So.
That's a dynasty.
No. I'm sorry. No, I'm in one with Shane. So that's one. That's not that's one. So one. I guess I'm in one. The rest of my leagues are C2C leagues.
C2C, I'm sorry, counts as dynasty. That counts.
Yeah, we're gonna get a C2C for dummies in a second. Matt, how many dynasty leagues are you in? And you can include C2C.
If we are including C2C, I believe I am in 32 now, which is a lot less than what I was in.
Okay, so give us the dumbed down version real quick of C2C and what the format is, because every time I've thought about doing C2C, I keep saying C2C, C2C. It's I picture myself being with a foreclosed house in a gutter because of the amount of time I already spend on Dynasty Fantasy Football, let alone bringing some college kids into the mix. So give us the dumbed down 30-second elevator pitch on C2C, Mr. Felix.
I mean, I'll do it in 15. C2C is just Dynasty that extends into the college ranks. So you just have the same format on that side. And when your players declare for the NFL draft, they're added to your NFL roster. That's it. And so the extra on top of that is if you love football, like I grew up loving the game, I would, when I was in kindergarten, I was telling my mom I could play with those kids in practice. They were like seniors in high school. Varsity, nice. I would tell them I could play with them. I watch Maction. I watch the bowl games. It's really helped me reconnect with my love for the sport. And so that's what That's what C2C is. It's not crazy at all. It's just dynasty fantasy football that extends into the college ranks.
Yeah, Matt, you wanna add on to that?
Yeah,
Your thoughts on C2C?
I'll try and keep mine closer to the 30-second mark, unlike Felix's, I don't know what that was, 3-minute soliloquy there on Campus to Canton leagues. Dynasty leagues, what do you love about them? Rookie drafts, trading, strategy. Campus to Canton takes that to the next level. It gives you a much bigger player pool to trade from because you can trade college players for NFL players. It gives you a whole nother draft to pick from in your supplemental drafts on the Campus to Canton side. And the strategy is what makes it separate from everything else because you're trying to win 2 championships a year. When on the college side, NFL side, and the trading back and forth to try and win one side or both is what makes that so much fun for me. I mean, the fact that you can double up your money, or even if your NFL team sucks, you still can win on the college side. It's really not as difficult as people think it is. You could use our website. There's other places. I'm still under your time, and I'm breaking off here and still under your time. There's a lot of other resources out there as well besides us that you can use to help yourself out. Like, it is, to me, it's the most fun you can play, and it makes every day worth it because college football right now is on every day except for the day the NFL's on, and the NFL's on Thursdays and Sundays and Monday, and you get college football Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
And if you actually like evaluating players and you like being quote unquote first and saying "I told you so," I laugh I laugh when I see the dynasty community say, I saw the so and so talk about so and so first, and just like, okay. But it's fun. Like, you actually get to take these risks on. Sky Moore was at Western Michigan. If you believed in him, you could have got him in the 40th round of a startup. Somebody like Michael Penix Jr. I mean, that's a good one. Zay Flowers, as a freshman at Boston College, was this guy that you saw run after the catch. He had 450 yards as a freshman. You can make you can get a lot of equity in your teams if you enjoy evaluating and you have any talent at it. You can acquire those types of players that are coming from non-traditional places, and that's one of the things I love about it.
So let's throw this up here because Shane just started, and it's cool in case he has to jump. Rory says, first time logging into a live chat, UK based, so can never usually catch them. Love your work. Appreciate that, man. Thanks for taking the time to write that. Let's pop over to a super chat here. Thank you, Zach. It is a 12-team Superflex PPR start 10. And look live, Shane, coming to you first.
Okay.
Just traded Stroud and Mike Evans for Bryce Young, Ken Walker, and a 2024 first projected mid. Did I mess up or cash out well and buy low on Young?
So just traded Stroud and Mike Evans for Bryce Young, Ken Walker, and a 24 first. I mess up or buy low on Young. I mean, value-wise, it's fair, right? I probably would have just held on this Stroud. I would have just held on the Stroud. I mean, call it what it is. I play in more leagues than probably Zach does. I'm in 33 leagues and I have 6 Bryce Youngs. I don't need another Bryce Young. I need more CJ Strouds. I only got 4 of those. So I don't like it. I don't like it. The more I look at it, the less I like it. Yes, you got a first back. The other big piece of the trade is a running back. You know how I feel about running backs. I don't like them as people. If that was a wide receiver, it'd be a different story. You know what I mean? If it was a top 10 wide receiver, then we're talking, but it's a top 10 running back, which is like fake currency. You know what I mean? Like, that's the euro. It doesn't even exist anymore. You can't use it in a year. So I'm not a big fan of it. It's not like it was a terrible trade though.
Maddie, where are you at on this one?
Yeah, I'm with
You're
Shane.
great.
I mean, with what CJ Stroud is doing right now, top 10 QB Bryce Young is, I'm almost positive, down near QB 30. And look, don't be wrong, I love Bryce Young coming out of Alabama. He's actually my QB 1. I had him over CJ Stroud. But I don't know that I've seen anything in watching him play with Carolina this year that's resembled anything close to what we've seen out of CJ Stroud. So you've given up already a top 10 proven asset in his rookie season for a guy. And again, a 2024 mid first. Like, if it was a top 3 pick, I'd say smash, because you're getting possibly Caleb or Drake Maye there. But doing that, I mean, at this point, I'd almost try and flip that 2024 mid first and Bryce Young to try and move up at quarterback, because I do like that you got Ken Walker. If you just want to say Ken Walker for Mike Evans, Ken Walker, he's having a good season. You know, Evans has already kind of been on the downside. I don't know that he continues doing what he's doing. So maybe you can trade that Bryce Young in a first for a better quarterback. But I think you sold a little low on Stroud personally.
Felix, where are you at on this one?
I don't think I can add anything. I would say, when you're making a trade and I'm trying to figure out which direction you're going, because Mike Evans and Ken Walker are win now pieces, but Bryce Young isn't. So I'm like, what? And then obviously the 2024 first isn't either. So I'm like, what? Mike Evans is, great, but you got to kind of flip him right now to a team that is contending. So I think the assets that you're trading for have different purposes, which makes the trade a little unbalanced for me.
Cassius Carter, thank you for the super chat. Felix, we'll start with you on this one. He says, paying Shane's speaker fee, but we'll also ask a question. Keaton Mitchell, a late 24 second, late 25 second for the 106. He says standard format, please pick a side. So when he says standard format, he's not talking about non-PPR. I think he's talking about our standard format. So 12 team, Superflex, PPR start 10. What do you think?
Yeah, give me the 106. Pretty easily. Give me the 106 because I'm going to be able to get, a wide receiver there that's going to have a 15-year career. Keaton Mitchell, how he's a flash in the pan. Yeah. They're going to use him more. They said they're going to use him more, but he's still going to be – Gus Edwards isn't going anywhere. Justice Hill – is it Justice? Is it Justice Hill? Justice Hill's not going anywhere either. He might get some more touches, but it's still going to be, a complimentary role. Keaton Mitchell is like 180 pounds. Come on, get out of here. Give me the 106.
Yeah, pretty easy for me too. Shane, what do you think?
Well, a couple things. The crowd would like to know why you already turned off the super chats, as I would. Two, I thought it was funny. And I'm not trashing the person at all. It was a data-driven article. I forget who I was reading, but they're just writing how Keem Mitchell is like second in yards per touch in the league among rookie running backs or something like that. And I'm like, the dude's had 9 touches. Like, you know what I mean? Yes, he's explosive. He's had 6 total touches or 7 total touches in like 2 games. Yeah. I'm not buying into that. I'm sorry. But I've never fallen for that. I'm not going to fall for it now. Give me the 106. Yeah.
In any format, the 106 on that. I was trying to think of it. Okay. If it was a 1 QB, would you go with the package? But no, you still just want the best piece.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to thank you for that super chat, Cassius Carter. Let's go to T-Law's Shampoo. Thank you for this one. I remember him from a few streams ago. 1 of 2, and Shane's got the second one there for me. Thank you. 12 team Superflex PPR 1.5 for tight ends. Just sent Addison a 2024 playoff first and a 25 first for Justin Jefferson. Now owns Stroud, Kyler, JJ Pittman, Hollywood, Myers, Judy, QJ. At running back, Dobbins and Gibson, only notable running backs. Jake Ferguson at tight end. He also has the 101, 2, 3, and a mid-second. What now? Oh, man. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this one here where we can see his team. Stroud and Kyler at QB. Let's look at that first. But he's got 101, 102, 103. All right. And then look at the rest of the team. What are you thinking here? Whoever wants to go first, just go ahead and hop in.
Is it unlimited starters? That's what I'm going to start taking when I don't get a starter number. That
it's
the
start 19. No, we'll go with start 10.
Start 10. I'm just taking it in. You guys can chime in while I'm just absorbing.
Okay.
I think you're going to be solid at quarterback. You've got the 1-1 and 1-2. You could take Caleb and Drake and have 4 easy starters right off the bat. Your wide receivers, I think, are okay. JJ Pittman, I think, are solid. Hollywood, Myers, Judy. I'm not a big fan of Judy. Running backs you're very poor. I might try and flip one of those first to try and get a high-end running back if you're trying to compete right now. You said you're giving up a 24 playoff first, so I'm assuming that means you're in the playoffs. So I would try and get yourself a running back.
Well, even next year, he doesn't have a run. Even if he has the win now assets next year, he still doesn't have a running back to. If you assume Dobbins returns to health, which you can't, Gibson is in a secondary role. To compete next year, he would have to trade for one of those picks for a running back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you could easily get a top.
You could get Christian McCaffrey. You could go trade. You might be able to flip 2 of those picks for Christian McCaffrey if you were going to go all
both in. Of them, but I guess you could. I would try and keep 1-1 just to be on the safe side, 1-2 and 1-3, so you get your pick of the quarterback because then you're really going to be set. I assume you'll go Caleb. But yeah, that would be my thing. I would go for a running back. You're all in 24 playoff. I'd be trying to get yourself a high end running back, one of those top guys.
I don't know.
Matt, can I ask a question? Would you trade 2 of those picks for Jahmyr Gibbs, knowing that there's not a running back like Gibbs?
No, because you don't have to give up 2, I don't think, for Jahmyr Gibbs. I'd give up one of them. I'd give up 102 for Jahmyr Gibbs. Just take my pick at quarterback and Marvin Harrison at 1-3, if you could do it. Honestly, well,
Look at this. Brett came for the Dynasty Vice, stayed for the C2C, abruptly left when things got weird with McVay. Yep, sounds about right.
So here's the thing. Looking at that team, so did we decide he's competing this year? Is that the where we came?
Yeah,
the decision we came to.
And he did confirm start 10. Didn't say anything about competing, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can buy Christian McCaffrey for a late first, 24 first. You know that because we're in leagues where people that are out of it are like, I can't believe no one will buy Christian McCaffrey from me, and all I want is a late first. And I'm like, bro, I don't have it. If I had it, you get it. If you've got a late first, go get Christian McCaffrey. I'd much rather do that than give up the flexibility of the 101, 102, even though Gibbs is exempt from my hatred of running backs, as I discussed last night. He's a special person. So I don't even look at him as a running back anymore. I still don't want to pay that for him just because of what those picks could be, and more importantly, what the value of them.
Yeah,
not competing.
Yeah, right. I'll just chime in real quick. I mean, I think this is the opportunity to get JJ for me. And the fact that he has the 101, 102, and 103, you kind of have that luxury to be able to overpay for JJ. I'm not going to worry about running back for next year now. It just seems like the perfect storm where, this is why you have assets, right? To be able to try to get a Justin Jefferson. So I like where he's at. So let's keep on moving here. Appreciate that super chat. And somebody can try to sneak in one more. I turned it back on. I've got another stream later, but there's Bjorn R with a super chat. I don't know what this Norwegian currency is, but it's a big number.
What is
big money, no whammies. But yeah, we'll put that one on in a second here. Okay, so let's move along. All right, and this is our friend Bjornar from Norway. Him and his brother helped with a data project too, which is really cool. And we're gonna be doing a roster review for him. He says, finally catching a live show, 2:35 a.m. in Norway. But my daughter has a fever and is keeping me up. Just wanted to mention the Patreon Discord. Been there since the start, and it's great, especially when you can't catch the lives. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, we started a Discord, patreon.com/allgas. Join our Patreon, man. We're close to 100 in there. It's cool. It's busy. Shane and Scott do their live AMAs, the morning drives on Mondays. So join the crew.
Morning drives are as much as, and I enjoy them, but every start of them, I go, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And by the end of it, I'm like, I can't believe I'm at work already, and I got to get off and like go to work now. Like, I don't want to stop talking, and it helps reset my, like, it's helpful talking to other people about the insanity that just ensued the day before, just if for nothing else, to just ground yourself.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you for that super chat, Bjornar. I see Matt West here has an inbox offer. Let's help him out. Got an inbox offer of Ayuk 25 first, 26 first for Gibbs on a rebuild. Single QB, and I'm tanking for top receivers. Thoughts?
I don't feel like a dynasty expert at all. I'm gonna defer to Shane and Matt if Matt's gonna go in.
I mean, if you're getting a Ayuk 25 first and 26 first for Gibbs, I know, I thought Shane would probably go that other way, but now that he thinks Jahmyr Gibbs is a phenomenal human being, he might side on the Gibbs side here. But I think I would be doing that. Ayuk shown flashes, 25 first, 26 first. Man, that's a little bit out. I'd try and get a 24 first if you could, but if you really can't, I'd be willing to do it. If you're rebuilding, there's no point in having Gibbs on your team if you're aiming to 25 and 26 to being a contender.
Yeah, no, I mean, you should definitely be trying to move Gibbs for it. And this is where how do I get AJ Brown for Gibbs? Or if I want to go younger, how do I get CD Lamb? Or can I get Puka Plus? Puka's had a couple down weeks, air quotes, because one of those weeks was what someone called Brett Rippin. So maybe his sales price has dropped a little. So maybe you get Puka and Plus for Gibbs.
Let me ask you guys this. So 2025 class, can you give us a quick overview of that class as it relates to 2024 or just as it relates to today's dynasty game? Because every year, as you guys know, we get into the rookie drafts, we get to like the 106 mark and we're like, is it time to punt back to 25? So to get out ahead of it, how's the 2025 class looking? Maddie, you want to start? Felix, go ahead.
Go ahead, Felix. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be about some of the guys who go back to school, and they're not going back to school for really good reasons. So Quinn Ewers at the quarterback position, who was just as more highly touted recruit than Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. He's going back to Texas. Drew Aller, who is out of Penn State, who's also a highly touted recruit. He's had some flashes, but he hasn't shown the consistency that you want to. I would imagine at the running back position that someone like Raheem Sanders, who is a 6'2", 235-pound wide receiver, convert to running back. He was injured and didn't have a great season. He's going to be right there with Quinshon Judkins, who has a more nuanced game. He's not going to go blow up the combine, but he's got like great vision. He's a 3-star prospect. Raheem Sanders, Quinshon Judkins, Nick Singleton there at the running back position. And I guess who's the class of the wide receiver? I guess Evan Stewart.
Yeah.
Evan Stewart is probably a Garrett Wilson clone. He's going to be there at the wide receiver position. I got to think of who the other wide receivers are.
Luther Burden, Antonio Williams, Teteroa McMillan.
Oh,
McMillan's
my God.
Probably the next one.
Yeah, it's definitely the strength of it has not been developed yet. I would say Teteroa McMillan, who might be a Drake London, Mike Evans spectrum type player. Luther Burden is, I think Percy Harvin is a good comp for him. He's a big Percy Harvin, and then Evan Stewart is a Garrett Wilson type. Those guys have been kind of solidified for a little while. That's 3. The running back position is nowhere near solidified, and the quarterback position isn't either, unless you consider Shedeur Sanders like an elite prospect. Because right now, unless I'm missing somebody, he might be the odds-on favorite to be the number 1 pick in that class. And that doesn't feel like a particularly strong class if somebody like Shedeur is the number 1 overall pick. So 2025, not strong just yet, but we have a long season of football next year before that's sorted out.
Yeah, I feel like once we get to rookie draft season, everybody always starts looking ahead to the next class, right? And it's like, that next class is going to be better than this one. I right now would disagree with that completely. And we both talked earlier in our State of Unions how much we don't necessarily like this class. Our good friend over at C2C Austin always says that quarterbacks make a draft class. If you have a bunch of quarterbacks, that's what makes a draft class. We don't have that right now. I mean, we love Drew Aller at Penn State. He has not been good this year. I have been one of Quinn Ewers' biggest fans. He has not been good for 2 years in a row. Outside of him, look, I'm sorry, Felix just mentioned Shedeur Sanders. I don't think he's an NFL starting quarterback. The best one out of all of them has been Connor Wigman out of Texas A&M, and he's hurt, and we don't even know what he's going to look like next year because his head coach just got fired. So right now, the quarterback position is not looking pretty at all. Right now, if you were to ask me what the strength of that class is, it's running back. It's Singleton, Judkins, Sanders, Katron Allen. If Jonathan Brooks goes back, Trevor Etienne, and that none of those, outside of probably those top 2 in Singleton and Quinshon, there's nothing sexy out of that. So you may be right now, if you were to ask me, I would say you better hope you have a top 4 pick in your rookie drafts, and it's those 2 running backs, Evan Stewart, Luther Burden, maybe one of those other ones. I like Teteroa McMillan a lot, but I don't know that he's going to be a game changer for you on the NFL fantasy side of things. So it's 4 players right now. That's it.
Yeah, we've got some names that people are popping up in the chat here. Jaden Ott. You're shaking your head a little bit, Maddie. Not the biggest fan in the world.
He's okay, but I don't know that he's going to be like a day 2 draft guy. I think he's probably more like round 4.
What about Ole Gordon? Asked Davy Cakes.
I mean, we've seen a lot of those. Why did his name just jump out of my head? Head coach. Help me out, Felix. I can't.
Head coach
of Oklahoma State. Why can't I think? Mike Gundy.
We've
seen a lot of those Mike Gundy running backs not get drafted early. I think that's more system than anything else. I don't know that Ole Gordon has any NFL elite.
Who was that running back out of Arizona State who had that 7 touchdown game? And he was super athletic.
Damn it.
You know who I'm talking. You know who I'm talking
He
about.
had a fun name.
I don't remember. Yeah, I honestly don't remember who you're talking about.
But that's who. I mean, Ole Gordon could be the next.
I mean, go back to a couple years ago. Who's the one who ended up at Chuba Hubbard? I mean, Chuba Hubbard was averaging 2,000 yards a season at Oklahoma State.
Kalen Balazs.
Kalen
Balazs. Yeah.
Like Oklahoma State, it's something we talk a lot about on the college side of things. Like these systems matter. It's why we weren't on Will Levis and Hendon Hooker when a lot of the dynasty community was. You have to look at these systems in college football. Look at Mike Gundy's running backs. He produces running backs that produce in college. When they get to the NFL, they just don't necessarily do as well. I'm not all in on Ole Gordon. He's having a great season, but I don't think he's like a day 2 draft pick.
Felix, let me ask you this. So right now you're on the clock. It's 108 in 2024. Or I'm sorry, you're 108. Crystal ball, okay? You kicking that to a random 2025?
No. Mm-mm. No.
Not doing it.
Not.
Okay. What if you think it's a 110, 111, 112? Late contender first.
Probably still no, because I just think that the wide receiver class is just so strong that I'm going to be able to. I mean, look where Jordan Addison and Zay Flowers were taken in this class. I think that you're going to have some of that, those types of scenarios in 2024, where you have really good prospects fall to the end of the first round. I really do.
Yep. And then let's hit on 2026 class real quick. I don't know how deep in the weeds. You guys go back to 2031, right? That's what you guys cover pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we cover the freshmen, so yeah.
2026 Arch Manning, right? We'll see what happens with him at Texas if he gets transferred. There's tons of speculation there. What do you think about 2026 QBs? Nice.
So I mean, right now, if you were asking us, that would be the class that I would be more excited about. Malachi Nelson is going to be developed under Lincoln Riley for the next 2 years. We all love Lincoln Riley quarterbacks. Dante Moore, we don't know where he's going to go. In my opinion, he has not looked good at UCLA this year, but he is a very good quarterback. You got Archman. You got Jackson Arnold at Oklahoma. Nico at Tennessee.
That's the one. Jackson Arnold at Oklahoma is the one to watch out for.
And there's other guys that, we were big fans of a guy, Aiden Childs, who's gone to Oregon State, who brings a lot of rushing upside, could be a fun quarterback. So that's just 5-6 quarterbacks right there we named. Go to the running back position. You got Cedric Baxter. Cedric Baxter Jr. at Texas. Sark has these 1,000-yard running backs that come into the NFL, do really good. Justice Haynes, a guy Felix is really liked at Alabama. Looks like he's going to be the next guy up at Alabama. Caleb Jackson at LSU. And then you go to the wide receivers where you've got a Jonte Cook, who is a good player. Zachariah Branch, who a little bit smaller, gets the Tyreek Hill comparisons. I don't know that he's Hill, but we have a theory that Austin and Chris developed at Campus Canton year 1-0 theory. He's broken all those thresholds. Very rare for wide receivers to do that.
The only players that have done it are Stephon Diggs, Luther Burden. There's one other player.
Yeah, there's
Luther
one more.
Burden, and
just take our word for it. He's really good, but we can't remember his name. But he's really good. But then you've got Carnell. You've got 3 wide receivers who are all at Ohio State that could be very good. Like that. That class right now on surface level looks really good. You got Deuce Robinson, who could be like a game-changing tight end or possible wide receiver at USC as well. Mekhi Lemon, who has it like. It's a very good class, but there's still 2 years of college to go. So a lot could change, but surface level, it looks like a really good class.
Sounds good.
You just threw out all these names out there, giving very little context for these players. You got this audience isn't our audience; they don't know these names.
I love Gibson Tripodi. Gibson Tripodi is my favorite.
Phenomenal
2031 player, and I think he's just going to be an absolute steal.
Can I give the audience one name, a player to watch next season who legitimately might be the next Anthony Richardson type player? He's 6'4", 240 pounds. He's not as straight line fast as Anthony Richardson, but he is probably in the 4 or 5 range, and he can throw the ball 60 yards. It's Lenoris Sellers at South Carolina. Watch for, and he wears you can't miss him because he wears glasses underneath his helmet. You can't miss him.
Nice. All right. You heard it here first. Well, heard it on your show first, but first time our hammers of the crowd are hearing it here. Kuski from our Discord. Thank you very much for the question, being a Discord member. In QB Hell, sent a bunch of offers. Which one would you prefer? It's a 14-team start 11 Superflex. That's a big league. 2.0 for tight ends. The first one is give Anthony Richardson and a late first. Get Dak and Gibbs. Yeah, give Anthony Richardson a late first, get Dak and Gibbs. Shane, what do you think about that one first? 14-team Superflex start 11.
Oh, hell, send a bunch of offers. Which one you're from? I give AR late first, get Dak. No.
Get Dak and Gibbs.
Oh, and Gibbs. Okay, I'm good with that one. Give Watson, get late first, and Russ plus CMC give late. I prefer the Gibbs and Dak one. I know Russ is playing phenomenal, but I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep putting up 20 fantasy points when he's throwing for less than 200 yards nearly every game. So I'll take Dax and Gibbs there for me.
Okay, and then the second one was give Watson and a late first, get Russ and CMC, and then the third one here, Maddie, we'll start with you. Give a mid 24 first, get Stafford and Kirk. I don't want anything to do with that one. That just feels gross. Give a late first, get Baker and Kamara. That one I could see the narrative behind that one.
If I had to choose one, I would probably go with the Dak one as well. Although, man, giving up Watson and a late first to Russ and CMC, if you're competing, like that's probably the route to go. It would be the Dak one or the probably the Baker trade for me. Those were the two that, again, if you're competing to win this year, give me Russ and CMC because CMC's phenomenal and Russ, as Shane said, has been good as of late. If he keeps going, you've got yourself probably a close to top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, you got some option there, and Kukski, you know the drill. Think of your league economy. Look at your roster construction. You'll make the right call. Okay, so let's move to another question, and then we're gonna call it a night, guys. Give it a nice tight hour here. So let's go to somebody throw in a question, and you will get on the screen next. Brian Ricks, Levis or the 201 plus a late 25 first, 12-team Superflex start 10. We call him Blue Jeans on this show, or at least Shane used to. Shane, Levis or the 201 and a late 25 first?
Yeah, like when you were stopping at the 201, I was already debating. Like,
right?
Do I want the 201? Like, that's close. I might just take the 201. And then he said plus a late 25 first, bro. Yeah, go get them picks, man. Re-roll Billy Blue Jeans there.
Yeah, it's easily the two picks for me. Braylon Allen, Jonathan Brooks, Xavier Worthy, Donovan Edwards, Troy Franklin, Brian Thomas Jr. all could be available at that 2-1, and then you're getting a 25 first as well. Will Levis is not going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
And you don't know that 2025 first is going to be
late.
I mean, you can project it to be, but we got a lot of
I'll bet you it'll be a top pick if that person's planning on starting Will Levis as one of their
Yeah, that'll help the cause. And Kukski, I think we can still kind of remember it. I'm second in record and points. Herbert is QB1. So be going from going up to Dak. Still like that option.
Dak and adding Gibbs like it's nothing.
And adding Gibbs, exactly. Okay, and then the last one for the evening is from Cody B. 10-team 2 QB start 10. I have Dak, Pat Mahomes, Jordan Love. Trade Love for Puka. I have 3 firsts. Shane definitely would. He'd smash that. Shane would trade Love for a third currently. Where are you guys at on Jordan Love?
How's that a question?
In this format, I would definitely do it because you're not starting Love. Puka Nacua you're going to start, and you have 3 first in a which you might be able to get a quarterback. I don't know where your first are, but if it looks like you're going to try to compete this year, I would do that trade. You might be able to get a little bit back in addition to Puka, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd do it too. Jordan Love, while he's not a good football player, he's having a good fantasy season, but I would do that trade, especially having the 3 first. I agree with Felix. Someone's going to jump up into that QB3. We'll have other QBs go day 2. You'll be able to use one of those picks on someone at some point in the rookie draft. So I'd do the trade.
Okay, so what we're going to do one more thing, actually. So we're going to use the giveaway tool real quickly. So you're going to put hashtag C2C, C the number 2 and then C, and then we will do a drawing and you pick a college player name and they will talk about him real quick. So C2C, I'm going to start collecting the comments. Got 1 entry. Okay. Hashtag C2C. We'll get your player answered. We got 5 in there now. Okay.
Run it.
Run it. Just go ahead and run it now. All right. Why not? Here, let's go to my. It's always fun to go to the share screen, guys. Maybe you guys haven't seen this yet. The giveaway tool.
No, you guys have a much more sophisticated operation than we do.
So here's we're running it. Let's see who gets this this giveaway tool. It is Johnny Detroit. Johnny Detroit, throw a player name as my cursor goes away. Throw a player name in the chat.
Wait, that's all.
Literally disappeared.
That's all he wanted is just listening to us talk some more.
Yeah, that's all he wanted, man.
All right.
Wasn't that enough?
Oh, I thought he was gonna. He's throwing out Blake Corum.
He wants to hear about Corum.
Yeah, I think so. Film guys are gonna love Blake Corum because he always makes the right decision when running through the hole. I think, well, he had the ACL injury at the end of last season. He's obviously recovered. He's taken a step back, though, production-wise, even though he continues to be, a guy who has great vision, et cetera. He's also small. He's small. I think, who is it, is Devonta Freeman? He's probably Devonta Freeman's size from the former Atlanta Falcons running back. I think that size is going to keep him out of day 2. I think he's going to be a day 3 draft pick, but look how much success we've had with day 3 draft picks, whether it be Dameon Pierce or Ramondre Stevenson. I mean, even Aaron Jones was a 5th round draft pick. So I would not count him out just because he's going on day 3. But very good player, the core of that Michigan team. And Johnny Detroit, 36th District Court. That's where you tailgate for Lions games.
36th District Court. Nice. Now, you may be wondering why everybody's putting in Ricardo, fix yours. There you go. Hammer. Hashtag hammer. I'm going to give out a hammer hat right now as well. Does that sound good, Shane? Or Shane's 5 hat. We'll see. Oh, look, Scott's in there. Scott's in the crowd. Puts in hammer. That would be absolutely
He doesn't get a hat. No.
He doesn't get one. All right, let's run this. We got 18 drawings. Hashtag hammer. Get it in last second here. All right. And then we'll let you guys plug yourselves. Okay. Share the screen. And there was a good question to start right there, Shane, that I just saw, if you don't mind. Hit the draw, 26 entries for a hammer or Dynasty Trades in 5 hat. Let's get you a hat. And who is going to win? And everybody listening, we got Keegan H. Congratulations. Do me a favor, send me an email, clay@dynastytradesin5.com. Just say hat winner, and I'll get you what you need. Good stuff there. All right, guys, I'm going to let you plug yourselves, what you do. Really appreciate you guys hopping on. This question right here is a good way to start. Where do we join a C2C league? And then talk about yourselves.
CampusToCanton.com. As a member there, you can get in our Discord, and C2Cs are always starting. Well, they don't usually start during the season, even though I know you could probably find one starting during the season. They are definitely going to start in January as soon as things roll over. Right. It's fun. It's a fun time. I've got Shane in one, and he's having fun. So, check out CampusToCanton.com and then jump in the Discord. There's a Find a League channel there, so that's probably the easiest place.
I bet Shane would be having more fun if you traded him Justin Fields for Trevor Lawrence.
I'm about to trade. I'm about to trade.
We got a much bigger deal brewing now because it's not fun if you can't make a big deal. Me and Felix made a trade a couple weeks ago, and I'll just say this, right? Felix sends me a screenshot of the trade offer, and I go, I don't know who those people are. And he goes, I'm offering them to you. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. It was like it's a good trade.
It was one of those LeJohntay Lester deals. Yeah.
Well, guys, enjoyed it. Thank you again to the 258 folks in here with us. Hit that like on your way out if you'd be so kind. Easiest way to help out the channel. And check out CampusToCanton.com and their YouTube channel over there, man. It was enjoyed it. Fun times. I'm gonna end this stream. Say goodnight, everyone. Later.